Good afternoon. Welcome to the BEntrepreneur Media Hub. We know what comes from the kitchen. How about the guys behind the kitchen? We have Mr. Abdulhadi Dewani from the guys who brought you Box It, tacos and burritos, eat fresh, try tea, shawarma and go. Welcome to the show, Mr. Abdulhadi.
Thank you.
For those of you who haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us on social media and download our app so that you get notifications on what we are up to. For the benefit of the audience, Box It and company, they are a chain of restaurants under the EatCo portfolio and getting rave reviews. In fact, my friend says Box It is one of their go-to apps for their office lunch. So you got a lot of fans. Now, Mr. Abdulhadi, every superhero has an origin story. Now, how about yours? What was this spark that got you into this field populated by giants?
I was from the start getting into entrepreneurship, so I already had the experience in the F&B, and I was at it back then. I was working in a company where they were running over 20 restaurants in Bahrain. So from that experience, I saw where I could get myself into and what's the risks factors and all, because after working in 2 years into that field, I have enough experience to go and start on my own. So that's where it started. And back then I was also in university, so it's a good learning curve to learn both at the same time. Taking all the experiences from university and then putting it directly into your business. That was a plus point for me. And since then we just kept evolving. We started with a small little restaurant and then how to evolve it, where it became Box It. From Box It we had to expand Box It. And once we became the market leaders in Box It, we said we might as well expand in other areas where extra brands came up. Then we came up with Prepped. And we foresaw that we are the market leaders in that field as well. So we said, let's get into more. Then we went into tacos and burritos, and today we are the market leaders into the Mexican food as well. So why not expand on the portfolios instead of sticking to one? And at the same time, we're already expanding our portfolio outside of Bahrain. So we are running restaurants in Saudi Arabia, where we signed a franchise deal with 27 stores. They already operated 2 and they're operating more and more. So we're just hitting this field as much as possible.
Wow, that's a great momentum. You started in a company, what you learned from the university, implementing it in the business great way. So I was looking through your portfolio, and then they had these, where in you state you have your conventional restaurants and then you have tech-based restaurants. Now tech-based sounds cutting edge, it sounds very groovy. Just enlighten me. What is the difference between conventional and tech-based? What is the difference?
See, conventional, you have a single restaurant, people will come in, they will dine and all. We don't want to be in that field. We want to be on the digital field. At the moment, people are always online. So we rather catch you online than catch you on the streets trying to find somewhere to eat. And it's also good for the current moment. The current moment, what do you have? We are supposed to go out less. We are supposed to socialize less. We have to stay at home more. So what fits your schedules? You're at home. Therefore, we want to be fully digital. And that's why we stopped all our restaurants dine-in and we turned them into restaurants. Like we expanded the kitchens in every store we have, so we can fulfill the needs of people at home. Even our concepts, we made them more adaptable to delivery instead of more adaptable to dine-in. So this worked very well during the pandemic. It works even better with Talabat's model, and therefore we adapted to the market leaders, which is Talabat. And that's how tech-based it is. We basically supply Talabat with food because our sales comes from them. So instead of us saying the customers are coming, we're saying, no, they are coming from Talabat. And we know that, where most people don't. They try to fight it. We try to work better with them, so we based it on there. back in anyone who learns marketing, they teach you that location is really important, and that's why they keep repeating to you location, location, location. Right now, location is not where you are. Location is where you are online. So if you're on Talabat's first page, that's the best location you can be, because you have thousands of people joining that app just to get to eat. So where are you going to get more potential customers? On the main street in Bahrain or on Talabat? Of course on Talabat. So that's our location today. Our locations are all digital, and our focus is on digital.
Sweet. It actually reminds me of the slogan Carpe Diem. Seize the opportunity, and you just seize the opportunity, grabbed it by the horns. Great way. Now, box it, tacos, eat, prep tea. They seem to be 4 to 5 different brands. All right. Now you kind of change the philosophy right on the head. You go to Lulu, Carrefour, and then you get something of everything there. You go to a food court, you have your different food choices here. But here you are going to these different demographics, different targets at the same time. It's like you're trying to develop master of one rather than jack of all. That kind of a philosophy. How does it work out?
We don't like diversifying, and we keep on focusing more and more as we get bigger. For instance, we had different restaurants back then. We had dine-in, takeaway, deliveries. We dropped all of it, and every year we keep the focus of the company deeper and deeper. So today we went really deep that every restaurant we have is purely a fast casual concept, which means you have very high quality food and fast. So what do we offer? We offer fine dining into quick service. And this category is called fast casual. So all our restaurants run in the same business model. All our restaurants have the same quality. All of them are targeting deliveries and slight takeaways, but the main focus of our company is deliveries. How fast we can cook the food, get it ready, send it to your home as fast as possible. So whatever concept we build has to fit into this, and that's our corporate value as a company.
Okay.
So when we do have value, if it does not fit this business model, it's always a no.
Right, so that sounds very, very focused. In a world where eateries bloom up in every nook and cranny, and where Talabat, you mentioned, they are notorious for them and their friends for driving down margins. So this whole industry is at cutthroat levels. How can you be profitable at such a critical junction when many are closing shop?
Adapt. I've seen so many people in the market and chatted with a lot of them. The first thing they always talk about is complain about Talabat. Second, they start trying to fight them, try to do something new. Well, don't innovate in that form, innovate differently. What did we innovate when? We started bringing in more brands. We started adapting the cost structures. We started adapting our speed of delivery. All the things that fit so we can be more efficient. So if one restaurant used to sell 10 orders in an hour, we want to make 30 orders in an hour. That's automatically we dropped all our costs and divided it on 30 orders in that hour instead of 10. So that itself is a cost structure. You can do a lot of different things to save money. It does not mean go lower your food quality. That's the number one mistake people would do. On the other hand, Talabat is a monopoly here. So what are you going to do about it? Nothing other than work better with them or be a good supplier to them. So today I consider myself a B2B more than a B2C. Why? We're selling to Talabat. Talabat is doing our sales.
Okay.
If you go to Talabat and take the food from me, so you're Talabat's customer, not mine. So on that business structure, I have to provide the best things for Talabat. So why not supply the monopoly instead of supply the little guys who will give me very little in return? And that's how we can survive, and we can build our cost structures better with them, where most of our competitors we've seen, they try to find different ways, and maybe it works for them, but not for us. We rather be focused and be the best at what we do, and that's why we led the market in a lot of our concepts.
Wow, so that's more like cooperation rather than competition. Yeah, I could detect synergy there. Now, help me out here. According to the FSR magazine, 60% of restaurants close shop in the first year, 80% close shop in 5 years. All right. So that's like 2 years back. COVID supercharged environment, those numbers will go up even more. All right. So why do you think there's such a high failure rate?
Multiple reasons actually are there, but things that I came out across.
Okay.
I'm in a lot of organizations where we mentor, support other entrepreneurs and all of that. So what happens here? People will come and open a restaurant just because they think it's a good idea. Well, first of all, you don't have experience of a restaurant. Second, you don't even have maybe the experience to be an entrepreneur in the first place. Okay? Did you learn what you're supposed to do? Do you have a business plan at least? Let's put that in perspective. I've seen so many people go to a consultant, pay him a lot of money for a business plan, then pay another marketing company to build them a whole brand, then pay a contractor to build them the shop. And then what? You've already burned a lot of money and you have zero experience in your head. Business plans, I don't believe in them that they work 100%. A business plan works slightly. And a short business plan will work if you write it, not if you give it to somebody to write it for you. Yeah, okay. If somebody does all of that for you, you're not a hands-on business owner.
All right.
That's kept a lot of issues that you will face. So if you're hands-on, you're going to keep adapting and fixing the business as you go with all the mistakes. But if you're basing it on a business plan, rarely business plans will work in Bahrain. The numbers are wrong, usually. Who are the people who write you the right business plans? Are there enough data in Bahrain to actually give you the right data to write a business plan? If you wrote a business plan in 2019 and you started your business end of 2019, what happened in 2020? How are you going to adapt with that business plan to make it work? If you don't have hands-on, if you don't know what's the market, you're just going to close down. Because you hardly learned how to open the business. Yet again, you have to go and fight and change the whole business model.
Yeah. So you are actually saying you can't outsource your brain.
Yes, you have to learn it. Like at least learn about it, or have a person who knows about it to work with you. And that's also a big mistake here. People will come and partner with you as if you're the guy who knows everything about the restaurant, and let's say I'm the guy who knows construction. If I interfere with your operation with zero experience in the restaurant field, I just ruined it. And most people here are always trying to get into everything. Well, you can't do that. It's like a boat. You need one captain. If you have two, and one guy understands how the boat runs, the other guy will just tell him what to do, it will not work. So a lot of those things also happen, and I've seen so many people in the restaurant business, they get in and out, and it hurts to see that, but they didn't start it the right way. Why are you in the entrepreneurship business? To make money? Okay, goodbye from the beginning.
Alright, so too many cooks spoil the broth. That's what I got there. Now, your journey sounds like an edge of a seat thriller. In spite of all this whirlwind activity, I'm sure you got your lessons from somewhere or the other. Now, you're done with the main course, it's time for the dessert. If you're going to meet yourself back when you started the company, what advice would you give?
Maybe do it again, but yes,
alright.
It's fun. It's the journey that's fun, not the mistake. Every mistake you're going to build is another obstacle that you're going to pass and learn from it, right? So we learned what we know because of the mistakes we've been through. And if we did not go through all these mistakes, we wouldn't know what to do later on, even if we have it on a paper. It's like reading a book. You think if you read a book, you'll know everything. No, you need to take it, you need to implement it. After you implement it, actually that knowledge is in your head. Otherwise you'll be another theoretical person, which is another doctor.
Wow.
You know, those professors, usually they have all the knowledge, but they can't implement much.
what are diamonds without the flaws? That's exactly the attitude Abdulhadi has. That's a wrap. Thank you, sir, for giving that enlightening journey. What goes behind the scenes of a winning kitchen, I hope you had a snapshot of that. Thank you folks for tuning in. Keep subscribing and following us through. We got much more in store for you. Thank you.